Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive.
Yeah.
Today, we are going to be looking at the polyvagal theory.
Okay.
And this is based on a recent interview with its creator, Dr. Stephen Porges, over on the Forbidden Knowledge channel.
Right.
And, we talk a lot about the mind-body connection, but I think his work really brings it to life in a way that really impacts our daily lives.
Absolutely.
Everything from our relationships to stress levels,
Hmm.
even the body's ability to heal.
Right.
So much good stuff in here.
Yeah, this is a good one. So
Right.
it's interesting because,
Yeah.
the polyvagal theory kind of goes beyond this vague idea of the mind-body connection.
Right.
And it really gives us like a concrete framework
Yeah.
for understanding how all this stuff is intertwined, like how our physiology,
Yeah.
our emotions, our thoughts, even our social interactions,
Right.
they're all connected.
Yeah. So before we jump into all the fascinating details of this,
Sure.
let's start with the basics.
Yeah.
What exactly is the polyvagal theory?
Like, what is it at its core?
Yeah.
Basically, it says that your physiological state,
Okay.
basically how your body feels,
Yeah.
that directly shapes your experience of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So you can think about your nervous system
Yep.
is constantly scanning for cues
Yeah.
of safety or danger.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's responding to those things in ways that you might not even be aware of.
So it's like our body has its own radar system always on the lookout
Exactly.
for potential threats.
Yeah, and those threat signals
Okay.
can come from anywhere.
Okay.
It could be a stressful work deadline.
Yeah.
Could be a tense conversation with a loved one,
Mm-hmm.
even scrolling through the news
Right.
and seeing, all the negativity.
Yeah, I definitely feel that, that sense of unease
Oh, yes.
when I spend too much time on social media or watching the news.
Doug.
It's like my whole body tenses up. I
Yeah.
feel on edge.
Right. And so that's a perfect example
Okay.
of your nervous system
Yeah.
responding to this perceived threat. And what Dr. Porges, he emphasizes
Uh-huh.
is that
Huh.
this state of chronic threat
Yeah.
can have serious consequences for our well-being.
Yeah.
It disrupts our ability to be compassionate,
Oh, wow.
to be creative.
Mm.
It hinders our problem-solving skills,
Yeah.
and it even impacts our physical health.
That's pretty sobering.
Yeah.
But thankfully, he does say that we also have this built-in toolkit
Yes.
for safety and connection.
We do.
So, it's not just about avoiding the bad.
Right.
It's also about cultivating the good.
Exactly.
So what does that look like?
Yeah, what did that look like?
In practice.
So imagine feeling really secure
Okay.
in your relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine being able to access your creativity
Okay.
and problem-solving abilities
Mhm.
with ease.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine experiencing a deeper sense of spirituality
Okay.
that's grounded in connection,
Mm-hmm.
not dissociation.
So these are all...
These are all signs of a nervous system that's thriving, not just surviving.
Yeah, I definitely want to learn more about how to tap into that.
Yeah.
But something else that really struck me in the interview was when he was talking about gut issues.
Oh, yeah?
He linked gut health
He did?
to a nervous system in chronic threat mode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
He argued that chronic stress
Yeah.
can actually disrupt the gut microbiome.
Wow.
That community of microorganisms
Mhm.
that live in our intestines.
Yeah.
And that can actually lead to inflammation
Okay.
and digestive problems.
So it's not just about taking a probiotic
Yeah.
or popping an antacid.
It's deeper than that.
We have to address the underlying
The root.
stress if we want to truly heal.
Absolutely. And that's where the concept of neuroception comes in.
Neuroception.
Yeah. So he distinguishes
Okay.
between neuroception and perception.
All right, break that down for us.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
Think of it like this.
Okay.
Perception is like reading a book. Okay. You're consciously taking in the words.
Yeah,
You're understanding a story.
I gotcha.
But neuroception is like that spine-tingling feeling
Okay.
you get when the lights go out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like your body's alarm bells
Okay.
going off before you even know why.
Yeah,
It's your nervous system's way of
Mhm.
detecting safety or danger.
right.
But it's on a subconscious level.
Gotcha.
So it triggers these immediate reactions
Mhm.
before you even have time to think about it.
So like that instant feeling of dread
Yes.
when someone gives you like a certain look
Exactly.
or a tone of voice.
Exactly. He calls that biological rudeness.
Biological rudeness.
Yeah, I love that term.
Yeah.
And the problem is that
Okay.
we often misinterpret these neuroceptive reactions.
Right.
And that leads to unnecessary stress and conflict.
So it's like our body is sending us a signal,
It is.
but we're not always fluent
Yeah.
in the language.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And so he really emphasized
the importance of learning to pause before reacting to those signals.
Okay.
So you acknowledge the feeling, but you give yourself a choice in how you respond.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I imagine that pause can be really challenging.
Oh, for sure.
For people who've experienced trauma.
Especially
because their neuroception might be
on high alert all the time.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
And he acknowledges that
Okay.
that trauma can have a huge impact on our neuroception.
Right.
It can often lead to this disconnect from our bodies and a feeling of numbness.
Wow.
And so he suggests that the first step towards healing is to cultivate awareness of your bodily state.
Okay.
So to start tuning back in to those subtle sensations and signals.
It's like we need to relearn how to listen to our bodies.
We do.
And recognize the messages they're sending us.
Because they're giving us good information.
About what we need to feel safe.
Okay.
To feel connected.
Yeah.
And ultimately to thrive.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's unpack this a little bit more.
Let's do it.
Yeah, it's so interesting, you know, how he kind of like reframes success.
Yeah.
Not just in terms of achievements, but how safe we feel like within ourselves and in our connection with others.
Absolutely.
It's easy to get caught up in the doing.
Yeah.
You know, always pushing for more that we forget about simply being and being present and attuned to our bodies.
And I think that's where the Polyvagal Theory provides such a powerful lens.
Okay.
You know, it's not just describing a phenomenon.
Right.
It's giving us tools to understand and work with our nervous systems.
Okay.
And it challenges us to prioritize safety and connection, not just personally, but in, you know, how we shape our workplaces, our schools, even our broader society.
Yeah, it makes me think, like, what could a society that prioritizes safety and connection look like?
Right. What would that look like?
You know, could we actually design systems that foster a sense of belonging and well-being?
It's a fascinating question.
Instead of constantly pushing people to their limits.
Imagine workplaces where collaboration and mutual support are truly valued.
Right.
Schools where children feel safe to express themselves and learn at their own pace.
Yeah.
Even cities designed with green spaces.
Interesting.
That encourage social interaction and a sense of calm.
So it's a big vision.
It is.
But, you know, the Polyvagal Theory suggests that it's not just a utopian dream.
Right.
It's actually essential for our well-being.
Or our collective well-being.
Yeah. So while it's exciting to envision that kind of societal shift, you know, that feels like a long game.
Yeah.
But he also gives us tools to start incorporating these principles into our lives right now.
Right.
So what are some simple things?
Yeah. What can people do?
That our listeners can do.
Like right away.
Yeah. To start cultivating that sense of safety and connection within themselves and their immediate relationships.
I think the first step is self-awareness.
Okay.
You know, pay attention to your body's signals.
Yeah.
What are the situations?
Okay.
The interactions that make you feel tense or uneasy?
Okay.
And conversely, what are the things that bring you
right.
a sense of peace and ease?
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe it's spending time in nature.
Yeah.
Maybe it's listening to certain kinds of music.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's engaging in a creative hobby.
Okay.
Or simply having a deep conversation
right.
with someone you trust.
It's almost like we're detectives.
Yeah.
Gathering clues about what our nervous systems need to feel safe and regulated.
And it's not about judging those reactions. It's just noticing them.
Okay.
And understanding what they're telling us.
Yeah.
And once we have that awareness,
okay.
we can start making choices that support our well-being. Maybe it's setting boundaries in a relationship that feels draining.
Yeah.
Maybe it's creating a calming ritual to de-stress after a long day.
Right.
Or simply saying no more often.
Yeah.
To things that don't align with our values.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting to think about how even seemingly small choices can have a ripple effect.
They do.
You know, like taking a few minutes to meditate.
Absolutely.
Or going for a walk in the park.
Right.
You know, it can impact our nervous system.
And ultimately our overall well-being.
Right.
Absolutely.
And you know, this reminds me of something else he talked about.
Yeah.
The importance of finding those safe and supportive people to connect with.
Having that co-regulation buddy system.
Yeah.
Where we can lean on each other.
Yeah.
For support and understanding.
And as he pointed out,
Yeah.
sometimes those supportive connections
Yeah.
come from unexpected sources.
I do.
Remember that charming anecdote about his cat? He was highlighting how animals, especially cats, can be incredible sources of co-regulation.
Yes.
Offering us that non-judgmental presence and unconditional love, which can be so soothing.
Very soothing.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that we don't always have to rely on other humans.
You don't.
For that feeling of connection and regulation.
Yeah, sometimes a furry friend is exactly what you need.
Sometimes that's all you need.
To calm your nervous system and feel grounded.
And this brings us back to the power of nonverbal communication.
Yes.
You know, think about how even a cat, with their subtle cues, a gentle purr, a soft head bump,
that can shift your state.
You know, can shift our physiological state.
Absolutely.
But of course, with humans, especially those we're close to, you know, that impact is even more profound.
Much more profound.
And he highlighted a fascinating study.
You did.
About mothers and infants, where a mother's melodic voice, even without words, had a calming effect on a distressed baby.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It makes me think about how we instinctively know that a gentle tone of voice can soothe and calm. And a harsh tone can trigger defensiveness and anxiety.
Absolutely.
So it's interesting to see that intuitive understanding validated by scientific research.
It's remarkable how much our voice, our tone, our facial expressions can impact another person's nervous system.
It really is.
It's a reminder that we're constantly influencing each other, whether we realize it or not.
And speaking of influence, I'm really curious about this new music that he's developing. Music specifically designed to stimulate the calming rhythms of the nervous system.
This is fascinating.
So could this be more than just relaxing music?
Yeah. Could it be therapeutic?
Yeah.
You know, could it help people manage chronic pain?
Right.
Focus better?
Or sleep better?
Yeah. It's an intriguing possibility. He's tapping into these very specific rhythms and frequencies that resonate with the autonomic nervous system.
Okay.
Which controls things like heart rate, breathing, digestion.
Yeah.
So it's conceivable that this music could have a range of therapeutic benefits.
It's almost like
we need more research.
Yeah.
But it's a possibility.
It's a whole new frontier of using sound to hack our nervous system.
It really is.
And promote well-being.
And it's a powerful example of how we can use technology. Not just for entertainment or distraction, but to actively support our health and well-being.
It is a bit daunting to think about all the potential applications and how this knowledge could reshape everything.
It is a lot to take in.
From how we design our homes and workplaces to how we interact.
But ultimately, I think it's incredibly hopeful. Because the Polyvagal Theory is not just about identifying problems. It's about offering solutions. It's about empowering us to understand our own nervous systems. And to create lives. That feel safer, more connected, more joyful.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it?
It is.
You know, exploring the Polyvagal Theory with you. It's really highlighted something for me.
What's that?
You know, we often talk about success and happiness in terms of these external achievements. But Dr. Porges reminds us
He does.
that true well-being starts with feeling safe and connected in our own bodies and in our relationships.
It starts from within.
Yeah.
He challenges us to redefine success.
He does.
It's not just about what we accomplish. It's about how we feel along the way. And that sense of safety and connection. It's not a luxury. It's actually essential for us to thrive.
So as we wrap up our deep dive today, what are some key takeaways?
Yeah, what can people do
for our listeners?
Like starting today to cultivate that sense of safety and connection?
Yeah, what can we do in our own lives?
Well, I think he would say it starts with awareness. Pay attention to your body's signals. Notice what makes you feel tense. Constricted. Maybe even a little shut down. And on the flip side, what brings you a sense of ease, openness, a feeling of being truly present in your body.
So it's like becoming a detective.
It is.
Of our own nervous systems. Just observing without judgment. Gathering clues about what helps us feel safe and regulated.
Exactly. And once we have that awareness, we can start experimenting with different tools and practices.
Okay.
Maybe it's spending time in nature, listening to calming music, moving our bodies in ways that feel good, engaging in creative activities that bring us joy.
Right. So find what resonates with you.
Find what works for you.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be some grand, elaborate thing.
No, it doesn't.
It could be as simple as taking 5 minutes to breathe deeply before starting your workday.
Exactly.
Or calling a friend who always makes you laugh.
Absolutely. Small, consistent actions can have a big impact over time.
And remember, social connection is a powerful regulator.
It is.
Make time for the people who make you feel seen, heard, and understood.
Absolutely.
And Dr. Porges even reminded us that sometimes those most supportive connections come from our animal companions.
They do.
I gotta admit, I'm feeling a lot more appreciative of my cat's tendency to curl up on my lap when I'm feeling stressed.
Animals have so much to teach us.
They do.
About presence, non-judgment, unconditional love.
Yeah, they can be incredible sources of comfort.
Absolutely.
And co-regulation.
And it's not just about receiving support.
Right.
It's also about offering it.
Okay, yeah.
How can we show up for others?
Yeah.
In ways that make them feel safe and connected.
Right.
Maybe it's a listening ear.
Yeah.
A kind word, a gesture of support when someone's struggling.
These small acts of kindness can have a ripple effect, creating a more compassionate and connected world.
Exactly.
Dr. Porges closed the interview with a really powerful image.
Okay.
He talked about compromised humanity.
Yeah.
And how so many people are living lives that are out of sync with their true nature.
Yeah.
Their need for connection and joy.
So true.
He challenged us to ask ourselves,
yeah,
how often do we simply allow ourselves to be?
To just be.
To feel safe in our own skin and to truly savor the connections that nourish us.
That's such a beautiful and thought-provoking question
to
leave our listeners with.
It is.
In a world that's constantly pushing us to do more,
right,
achieve more, be more.
Yeah.
Maybe the most radical act is to simply pause.
Just pause.
Listen to our bodies and prioritize what truly matters.
Yeah.
Safety, connection, and the joy of being alive.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
On this deep dive into the polyvagal theory.
Yeah, this was a good one.
We hope it sparked some new insights.
I hope so.
And inspired you to cultivate more safety and connection in your own life.
Absolutely.
Be sure to check out the show notes for links to Dr. Porges' work.
Lots of good resources there.
And keep exploring.
Keep exploring.
Keep connecting.
Keep connecting.
And keep diving deep.
And we'll see you next time.